I didn't expect to cry. Fudge. I'm not sure this is going to make the edit.
My name is Virginia, or as most people call me, V. Coach V to my clients, or Queen V if you find me on Instagram, or straight up just mom to these four. I'm an online fitness coach and manager at St. Fit, the best gym in the whole world. I spent most of my adult life pastoring and leading worship at a church, and now I spend my days at a gym helping people become a better version of themselves, much like I did at church. I love helping people find their truest potential nowadays through fitness.
I got married, y'all, this is a crazy story, and maybe if y'all are interested in, let me know. But I got married when I was 17, and I had my first kid when I was not even quite 19 yet, and I had my fourth kid by the time I turned 25. 20 years after I got married, I got divorced, and I never wanted that. Nobody ever wants divorce. I wanted the family happy ever after, just like everybody else does. So, I have something to share. And if I can help one person, one marriage, one relationship not have to go through what I went through, I'm happy to share. I got divorced after 20 years of marriage. And hindsight, I'm telling you, is 20/20. So, learn from my mistakes, because I'm telling you, divorce is painful. It sucks. It's awful. I hope nobody has to go through it, but if you are in the middle of something in your marriage, or you're thinking about it, or you have gone through it, maybe this will help you. But if you followed me for a while, you know that one of my central themes is for women to take care of themselves, to prioritize themselves. And after talking to thousands of women over the last 20 years, I know that this is simple in principle, but difficult in practice. I didn't prioritize myself for most of my marriage. I took care of everyone, and my needs came last, and usually not at all. In fact, if you would have asked me at the time what I needed, I wouldn't have even been able to answer that question, because I stopped asking it. What do I need? Never asked the question. And when I stopped asking that question, or stopped communicating what it was, so did everyone else. Nobody ever asked me what I needed. And women, this is the thing about women. Women are strong, and we are adaptable, and we can go on like this for long periods of time and be okay. Maybe a little bit tired, but we're okay. We're like reeds in the wind. We bend, but we don't break until we do. Now, let me say that most of what I'm talking about right now is in the context of marriage or a long-term relationship, and there's another side to it. There's the man side, right? And for men, there's a lot that they can do to make this way easier on a woman. But for now, I'm just speaking to the women. I really think that the reason why women are able to put up with so much is simply because we have to, for our children. I reached out to a client that I used to train just a couple of days ago, and she took about 3 days to respond to me, because she's in the thick of it with an infant. And she said, V, I know I need to prioritize myself, but I just don't feasibly see how I can do that right now. And I get it. I really do. I had 4 kids under the age of 6, okay? And there is a time period where you as a mother are locked in, and self-care is just a shower or a 10-minute walk, and that's okay, okay? There's no condemnation here if you're in the thick of it. The problem with this is that it oftentimes doesn't naturally evolve. Instead of making it out of that valley of diapers, getting back into touch with your own needs, you continue to take on the needs of others, your kids, your husband, your job, and you disappear behind everybody else. And I remember feeling this way. Part of you even feels comfortable there, and you tell yourself you like it, kinda. Holding a baby on your hip, so everybody talks to the baby and not to you. Until it's time to feel like a woman, until it's time to feel like a real person. Like the moments that you want to go out to dinner and you hate how you look, but mostly just how you feel. Or the moments you have to step out of your comfort zone and have a conversation with somebody you respect, and you simply just can't because you lost your voice. You don't know how to express hardly anything anymore. Or maybe the moments where you're undressing in front of your partner and you feel so unsexy and you don't know how to communicate your needs in those intimate times. Those are the times where you're like, man, you feel alone. You feel uncared for and wholly unsatisfied. So what do? I did this too. You pour into others more, hoping that you feel a tiny little rush of some dopamine when you see somebody else doing well, or when you receive a moment of appreciation from that person for your love and care. Why do we do this? I did this for so long. And when you don't get it, when you don't get that appreciation, or when they don't do well, you slip into this resentment or depression, and sometimes even, dare I say it, bitterness. It's an ugly, ugly cycle, and I'm telling you, it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen. Even though it's comfortable, or let me say, even though it's familiar and comfortable, there's a better way. So I'm 40 now, and here are 5 things that I know at 40 that I really wish I would have known at 20 or 17, because that's when I got married. Work out every day. I thought for the longest time that I didn't like working out, but you know what? I just didn't know what to do. Do it every day, even if you don't feel like it. Which leads me to my second point. You do things all the time that you don't feel like doing. Most of them, if you're a mom, are probably for other people, like your kids. If you're not a mom, like you're a woman, you're probably still doing other things for other people all the time. But some of those things that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, should be for you. Like working out, making yourself eat, getting up early to have some quiet time. Leads me to number 3, quiet time. It's imperative, okay? You are your own best company. If you can't be alone without discomfort, it's a red flag for yourself, okay? You're avoiding something that your conscience is trying to tell you. So listen, self-reflect. Number 4, say no. Why is it so hard for some of us to say no? I was in the line at the grocery store, and there's a woman in front of me, and there's a cashier who's a man who's ringing up all her things, and he gets to the end and he says, "Ma'am, would you like a bag for your groceries?" And she says, "I'm okay." And he stops and he says, "So you don't want a bag?" And she says, "I'm good." And he's like, "So no." And she says, "I don't want a bag." It just struck me so funny because she could not say, "No, I don't want a bag." And the cashier obviously was making it harder on himself than he really needed to, which is a whole nother side of the story. But my point is, why is it so hard for some of us to say no? You have to say no so you can say yes to the right things. And I'm telling you, people pleasing will not make everyone happy. Nobody really cares that much, okay? They are not exponentially happier when you say yes all the time. You, however, are losing respect for yourself every time you say yes when you want to say no. Number 5, do things that you love doing. Who are you? What makes you unique? Use that self-reflection time to find out. Having your own purpose will keep you in your pocket. Listen, when you don't have a vision for your life, you start living through other people. And if you say, V, I love helping people, that's my purpose. This message is especially for you, okay? Because that might be true and it is wonderful. But if you really want to help people, you have to start with yourself. You have to help yourself. So, what have you overcome? What skills or knowledge do you have? What's your area of expertise? What are the insecurities that you have overcome in your life? I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what stuck out to you. And like and subscribe and share and all those things that YouTubers say if you want more. This list comes from a lot of self-reflection and a lot of looking at where my responsibility lies in a failed relationship. And sometimes when you've gone through a bad relationship and you feel like the victim, and you probably in a lot of ways are the victim, at the end of the day, there's still choices that you and I make to get there. And the reality of it is that in order to not repeat those same patterns, we have to figure out where our choices are in the whole thing. And so because I see a lot of women at least partly going down this road or struggling down this road, this isn't just something that I came up with and it's just in my little bubble. I work with clients on a day-to-day basis and I hear the same things repeated over and over. And I work with, before I was in fitness as a fitness coach and a life coach, I was in pastoral ministry, and this is a common problem. So these are forged out of my own fire and solidified by listening to hundreds, maybe even thousands of women.